Great. So this is a foundational class, or the entire course is for foundations to get you into the AWS cloud. So I'll put in all the efforts and then try my best to prepare you for the practitioner exam. So first, I will take you through the cloud
Okay.
practitioner certification part. Okay, so AWS. So this will be the running notes. So I'll share the running notes with you as well. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. So in AWS, the first thing that's
I don't know whether it's my screen, but your screen seems a little bit smaller than mine.
is it okay now?
Okay, yeah, I think it's good now.
Yeah, good. So the first certification part, as far as AWS recommends or per AWS recommendation, is to first have a foundational knowledge, right? You have to begin
Okay.
from like the very beginning to the level that you want to get to, depending on the path that you choose. All right. So for the certification
Okay.
parts, they have the foundational, okay, and that is the cloud practitioner. All right. And
Okay.
from there, you move on to the associate. All right. The associate level. And then now you look at the, so you either choose to go through the specialty. All right. That is where you specialize in. So let me just do them like this so that I can add other things. Good. So we have the associates, there is a specialty, and the professional level. All right. Please, can you still hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm following.
Okay, sure. All right. So these are the levels, all right, in the AWS cloud, as far as AWS cloud is concerned. So you do the foundational, then from foundational you go to the associate level, and then you can either to decide to specialize in an aspect or you go to a professional level. This is mostly a deep dive, all right, to the path that you have chosen. Great. So on the foundational level, let me just even remove this. You have the cloud practitioner. That is the only foundational level certificate that you can have. And then on the associate level, you have the solutions architect. Okay, there is the developer. And so solutions architect, there is the developer. Yeah. And then for specialty, there is security. Give me a moment. Let me just refer to my notes so that uh good. Yeah. Yeah. So for solutions architect, there is the solutions architect, the developer, you have the data engineer. So if you want to do data analytics or data engineering in the cloud, then you can be a data engineer. There is SysOps. That's a short form for systems operations. That is if you want to go through the operations path. Yeah. And for specialty, you have,
Operations, sorry. Operations as in.
yeah, systems operations. So systems operations basically deals with, let me just type it in full. Okay, so you are mostly going to look at the day-to-day activities, right, of or the day-to-day performances of the system. So it deals with monitoring, ensuring that your systems are up, all right, and running and then performing to the optimum best or
Is it
the
is it, is it like an administrator, system administrator somehow? If
yes, but as far as IT and then cloud is concerned. All right.
okay,
So yeah,
okay.
so it's just like an administrative role, but you are dealing with IT systems or
The
cloud.
IT component of
Yes,
it.
cloud infrastructure. Good. And then for specialty, we have, as I said, security. There is advanced networking. Okay. And there is machine learning. Okay. There is database. And there's data analytics. Okay. This is not comprehensive. There are other parts that you can also take as far as cloud is concerned, but these are the main areas that I mean, even in the job markets, like you can have people there, and then you can also have resources there. And then when you go to the deep dive, there is also solutions architects, right? And then there is the DevOps engineer. I'm sure you have heard or you've seen a lot of talks around DevOps engineer. So the DevOps engineer is basically a bridge, all right, between the developers and then the systems operation. So you create a bridge between development and then what systems operation. Now, what this means is that most of the times in companies, you have the developers, those who create applications, they create web applications, they create websites and then all that. Now, and mostly it's about code, right? So after these developers write their codes, the app needs to be deployed, or what we say, it has to be published for us to use. So the developer in at Meta sat down with his team to write the application code for WhatsApp. All right. And after it's done, it has to be deployed. And most of the times there are processes that goes through or that goes on between what the development and then the
The
deployment of
deployment.
the deployment of the application. Now, most of these processes previously were manual processes. All right. They were manual processes. So there was a need to actually automate these processes. And it looked like another type of load on these developers. So what happens then? Then let's bring somebody that can actually automate these things so that the developers can now focus on what? Writing their codes, and then the operations can also focus on what? Managing the infrastructure whilst the deployment
Okay.
processes are automated. So there came what? The DevOps engineer. So in DevOps, you will hear things like writing CI/CD, right?
Okay.
Pipelines, writing automation scripts. So that's basically what DevOps engineers do. All right. They make sure that the deployment of applications are automated so that there shouldn't be a manual process, so that the operations can focus on what the day-to-day performance of their infrastructure. Developers can now focus on their code, whilst the DevOps engineer also ensures that what the deployment is happening or ongoing. Okay. Now, when you come out of cloud, all right, or sorry, AWS, another name that you can also look at for system operations is a cloud engineer. Okay.
Okay.
Cloud engineer. Now, most of the times your work will be just exactly as what a systems operations engineer. But then most of the times when you are able to get your cloud practitioner certificate, or you're able to certify as a cloud practitioner, you need some extra skills, right? Like Linux, you need a bit of Python. There's an a foundational level, all right, on Python, getting to know how to write Python codes like variables, knowing the data types, just a foundation, logic flows, and then all those things. Because
The list
I
and all
mean,
this stuff.
correct. So if you're able to understand or have this foundational knowledge, then you are able to, because some of these codes, even the experts advise that you don't like memorize codes that is already available. All right. You only have to understand
Mm.
the use, and then anytime you need it, you should be able to what get it. All right. You need a bit of database, foundational database, uh administration, in the sense that most of your work is going to be what infrastructure management. All right. So in case a database server goes down, a server is just a computer. All right, a normal computer that we have. We'll get into
Okay.
all these things. So in case a database server goes down, you need to be able to troubleshoot and then get to know that, oh, the database server is down, and then you should be able to also troubleshoot the cause and then resolve it. All right. In your result of in the process of getting to bring the database server up, you will have to do some bit of what you have to test the system to see that indeed is working. All right. So you need a foundation in that, and then you will need your cloud foundations. Good. So these are the basic skills that you need as what a cloud engineer is. And then before I forget, you need Git and yeah, GitHub. Okay. And then for, let me even do Python or Bash. All right. So for automation, so yes, what we call Bash, all right, scripting. Good. So these are the basic skills that you need as a cloud engineer. You need to have or possess as a cloud engineer. All right. And if you have these skills, I mean, you qualify for all the cloud engineer, all the cloud engineer jobs, all right, in the available in the job market. Yeah.
So these come, is it right after the foundational, the cloud practitioner stage?
Yes. I mean, while even studying for the practitioner exam, but I always advise people that if it is mainly to certify, it is good that, or it will be advisable that you just dedicate time, all right, to pass your practitioner exam after. All right. The truth is that you can even use 3 weeks to prepare for cloud practitioner exam, like if it is for the exam purposes. All right. You
Okay.
can just sit down, practice questions, read materials, and then in 3 weeks or maximum a month, you should be able to what? Write your exams. Now, when you are certified, then you can now put in the effort to learn these basic skills. All right. You don't need like a deep dive. All you need is like some foundational knowledge. So Linux, if I want to create a file, how do I do it? If I want to create a folder, how do I do it? If I want to delete something, how do I do it? All right. And it is these knowledge that will help you to also what script, because scripting is like, okay, you want to the process that you go through, you would want to what automate that. All right. You don't want to manually do these things yourself every
Okay.
time. So you want to now put the commands into a form of what? A program, so that you can run it. You don't have to go through the process of manually doing it again. Okay. And then for database too, you have to just know how to query databases. You have to just know basic SQL command, the select, the insert, the add, the delete command. Okay. And then the cloud foundations for your cloud practitioner. And then Git and GitHub is for version control. So it's like that is where you build your portfolio, because most of the tech vacancies will ask for your what your GitHub repository or portfolio, just to see what you have done. So we are
Okay.
going to yes, we are going to do some of these projects, or I'm going to give you some of these projects to do as an assignment, and then you can document them in your GitHub. So I'll take you through how to create a, if you have one already, then that is fine. But I'll take you through how to create a GitHub account and then how to create a repo and how to, you know, put these things there. I'll also show you another way of what building a portfolio. If you are a bit of a good writer, that also helps because most of the things that you will learn, there's no like hands-on projects there that you can do. You can only write about them. All right.
Okay.
Especially for the beginning topics, right? In the early stages. Yeah. All right. This to this point, do you have any question?
Oh, so far I think we've answered. I just the only thing I would like to know is from your point of view, in as much as you've explained that if for the purpose of exams you can focus on the month cloud practitioner writing stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
what normally do you recommend since it's of course getting the skill and also passing the exam? What do you recommend
Okay.
that the person?
So right. So I'll give you my typical style, right? So
Okay,
I I I I am the type where like if I get something done, it's difficult for me to go back to it again. Okay.
okay,
So throughout my process of certifying, I make sure that I'm also what getting the skill that is needed.
okay,
Right. So I do both at the same time. Right. But then I will, if it is weight, if I'm to give weights, I can like just dedicate about 60% to the certification and then 40% to getting the skill. All right. So that when I am done, getting back to like polishing, I mean, getting back to the skill will just be like polishing the skill, other than now coming to study all over, right?
all over again.
Again, yeah. So that is it. And for as a practitioner, you can still do it with Linux because most of the things that we'll do will also need like a bit of Linux skills, right? Because we'll look at servers and all that. So through the process, yes, we will do a little dive into Linux most specifically. All right. So
Okay,
yes, that is it. Yeah.
okay. I think so after practitioner that one no matter where you want to go you have to do that. But looking at it from the associate to the specialty and stuff,
Hmm.
will it require, especially for those of us with a non-IT background like that, um, will it require us to do other stuff, other IT, like hardcore IT stuff? Because you can say
No,
as you go
so
deeper and deeper
yeah.
and deeper and like
So for practitioner, most of the times practitioner is going to even talk about because practitioner is all about comparing what we do on the traditional level, like the traditional IT stuff that we do, all right, and then now how it is being done in the cloud. So by the time you end practitioner, you even have an idea of how like the traditional IT compute. And then Linux basically is just like the traditional computing. All right. Now the reason why you need Linux is that in cloud you are working with servers, and then most of the servers run on the Linux operating system and not Windows.
that. Okay.
You get it. So for after practitioner, solutions architects, let me just explain. So solutions architect deals with knowing the use cases of the AWS services and then how they
No,
come to,
with the
like the use cases of the AWS services, all right,
okay,
and how you can put several various services together to solve a problem. Okay, so solutions architect most of the times focus on the consulting and then the business side of things. Most of the times you are not going to do the work. All right. It's just like a
okay,
consultant. So, okay, you have a web application, or a company can reach out to you that, listen, we have this application. Let's use Netflix, for example. Now, we are hosting our own servers in our data center and we want to move to the cloud. What do you recommend? So, as a solutions architect, you should be able to say that, okay, I will need data on your monthly usage, your yearly usage, your quarterly usage. All right. I would need the specs of the server that you are currently using and then how you deliver your services online. Now, based on the data that I have, because cloud, everything in cloud is not like a cast in stone. All right. It's not a fixed solution for everybody. So you always need data to suggest what an optimum solution for them.
Okay.
Okay. So now the solutions architect, okay, so based on this, now I can recommend that, okay, you use this, you use service A, service B, service C. And then for your service delivery, you can now do it this way or that way. That is for solutions architect. So it's
Okay.
all about knowing the services, what they do, and then how they come together to solve problems. The
Problem.
developer, on the other hand, is just like using the AWS tools that will help you make your application development easy and efficient for you. So the developer is more or less like a hands-on person, right? Just like the traditional app developers, programmers, and they fall in this category. All right. Now, the data engineer, they work with data. All right. They basically work with data, right? Data modeling, train. So they also go with the machine learning people. So if you are doing data engineering or data science, you have to do a bit of cloud now, all right, to learn the data modeling technologies. So they are the ones that says that, okay, uh, based on what is, I mean, they are able to predict, or they are able to use data to predict that, okay, so looking at how maybe the rate of social media users, maybe Facebook can hit 1 million users in maybe uh in the next 2 months, in the next 3 months. All right.
Oh,
Uh, yes. So and then they also use data to actually model these AIs is data. All right. So they use data to also model machine learning languages. And I've already explained systems operations. Now the data analytics here will say that, okay, ShopRite has this data. We want to know our most patronized products. All right. And then we want to
okay.
know our most active branch. Now, the data analyst is able to take this data, all right, and then using basic querying languages or querying skills, is able to tell that, okay, so based on the data that you have given me, uh, product A, product B was the most patronized, and then branch A or branch B was what? The most patronized branch. So let's focus on restocking that branch more often.
So they just follow the trends of the data,
The data, exactly. All
and then
right.
based on that they make predictions, outcomes, and the stuff like that.
Correct.
So more or less, like, you just give them the numbers, and then they follow the number part, and then they make those statements, stuff like those
Exactly.
predictions, right? If
Exactly.
I'm right. Okay.
Yes. So that is why MTN is able to come out to say that we have this number of users, we have this number of this is the most purchased bundle, everything. When you search for information on Google, and then Google says that, okay, YouTube is the most visited website in Africa, then it's because of what? The data analytics, the data
Okay.
analyst, right? And then there's the database administrator. Let me just add administrator, right? Good. So there is a database administrator who now provide or manage the infrastructure that houses what? The data.
Data.
All right. Good. So this is basically managing the database server. Okay. And the networking engineer is also responsible for what? Making sure that there's these servers communicate with each other. All right.
Trans-
Where should we where
Okay.
should we put where should we put the application server? Where should we put the web server? Where should we put the database server? And how are we able to, or how can I make them talk to each other? Okay. Because for example, when you visit Jumia's website, you create a username. All right. You create your username, you create your password. You ask yourself, where does these things go? All right.
Yes.
So they are saved in what? A database server. And it is a database administrator that is responsible for uh, making sure that this infrastructure are also up, and then data is being what? Is being housed. All right. And then the
Okay.
security specialist or the security person will just make sure that all these systems are what? Are secured. All right. So ensuring all, making sure that all the security protocols are what? Are followed. I talk of user creating users, creating passwords, uh,
Mm.
putting in place firewalls and everything to make sure that all the
But like
systems
and data, but so that if I get it right, the information is not easily accessible
leaked.
to people
People,
or
yes,
leaked. Yes.
yes, unauthorized people, correct, exactly. Yes, so that's basic. So these are these professions, and I was talking about. So there's solutions architect professional is just a deeper dive, all right, uh, from the associate level.
From the
Okay,
associate level.
yeah. So it all
Okay.
depends on the path that you want to take, and then I mean,
You just
by the time as you move forward, you get to, I mean, appreciate or know where you really like want to branch into. Yeah. So let me
so
add.
by the time you're done with the practitioner, you basically have the foundation to go within any of the associate areas
Yes,
of your
because
interest.
yes, practitioner touches on all these parts. All right,
Okay.
they will briefly talk about them, but then everybody that has stepped into cloud, you know, you start from the administration level, the cloud engineer level. So as you stay in the field, you know that, oh no, I think I would want to go to this path. All right, then
Go to this.
you fine tune your. So I'll add this link called roadmap.sh. Okay. Now, this website is a road, as the name goes, it's a roadmap, right? If you need
Okay.
like a path to follow as far as your career is concerned, you just follow the link. Let me open the link. I just have to make sure that is the correct link. All right. So this is it. Yeah. So for example, if you want to be a DevOps engineer, if you want to be a data analyst, if you want to be a software architect, so it's just like a solutions architect, right? If you want to be a cybersecurity person, or almost every field in tech is here. So if you click on this, it is going to give you a roadmap. It uses AI. All right. So most of them are not like compulsory, right? So he's able to tell you this is a personal recommendation or opinion. There's an alternative opinion. All right. So you when you look at the legend, basically you have to learn any one of these languages. Okay. So for a DevOps engineer, you start by learning any programming language. So either Python, Ruby, Rust, Go, JavaScript, or Node.js. These are just you just have to know how it's being used, all right, or what do I say? The best practices, right, to follow when you are maybe programming in Python. As for the rest of the code, it is always available online. You can just get it. Okay. And then you have to learn any of these operating systems. So either Ubuntu, either SUSE Linux. You see, so Windows is like optional. It's something, it's not something that is recommended because most of the servers that you are going to work with are Linux operating systems. So but I always say that at least two of these operating systems will get you going, right? Either Ubuntu or a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So when we talk about Linux, I think I will talk about what a Red Hat Enterprise Linux is. Okay. So to just give you the roadmap, so what the AI does is, as I said, it's being fed with data. So it will bring out everything that, as far as DevOps is concerned, right? So it's up to you to specialize in
Hmm.
any one of them. So for the
Okay.
cloud like this, you see there is AWS, there is Azure, there is Google Cloud, there is Digital Ocean. Now
Mm,
the most used cloud services is what? AWS and then Google Cloud. So when you are able to master AWS and then Google Cloud, you should be good to go. All right. And then AWS, Google Cloud, Azure are mostly the same. If you are able to master in AWS, you should be able to use Azure and then Google Cloud. You just need what? Some training, a basic training, and then you are good to go on them. So these are other cloud providers as well. Alibaba, Linode, Heroku. I mean, these are not popular. Okay. So on containers, you can see you have to learn. So you're either learning Docker or LXC. And then the most used is Docker. So you have to just learn Docker. So this is version control systems. So you either learn GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So these are options that are being provided. You only have to
Mm,
specialize, yes, in one of them. You don't have to do all. I mean, if you are doing all, then 1 year will not even be enough for you.
yes, of course.
Yeah. So you specialize,
And
and
it
most
doesn't
of
look like, let's say you specialize in areas, it doesn't look like um, something that will phase out easily for you to go back and learn another stuff.
no, no,
These are
no.
things that are more or less
Yeah,
like come to stay.
correct, correct. So there is something like CI/CD, right? With CI/CD, even in cloud, when you write one pipeline, the probability of writing this pipeline again is very low. As far as it is working, that is it. The
Okay.
only reason that you will have to go back to a pipeline is maybe there is a new version of the pipeline. So you just have to go and upgrade it. And then if there is a new version, it will be like you will know that okay, this thing version 1 has been changed to version 2. So you only have to go to your pipeline and change it to version 2.
Okay.
All right. And then if version 2 requires you to write the pipeline in a different way, there is a guide for you to write. That is it. With one thing about tech is that every information is available everywhere if you need it. All right. Just yesterday, I was demonstrating to a class. We used an information online just to develop a solution, like a problem that we were solving. All right. And it was typically
Okay.
online. We didn't write anything from scratch. It was typically from online. So I mean the information is always available. You only have to
Available.
yes, you only have to understand it because you need to understand what you are using the information for. So that is roadmap.sh. So just give you a guideline or a roadmap to what you need to
Okay.
do. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the course outline. Okay, so for the first topic, we are going to look at introduction just to cloud computing. Yes, and then under that, the topics the topics we are going to look at is what is cloud computing. We'll look at the cloud computing models, but we'll look at the benefits first. The benefits of cloud computing. We'll look at the cloud computing models, and then we'll look at the cloud deployment models. Okay. Yeah. So this will be the first part, and then we'll have a project. Sorry, cloud computing service model, right? And yes, as part of the project, you can create a blog post. So it's like you put yourself out there right from the right from the beginning or right from the word go, right? So create a
Okay.
blog post explaining cloud computing in your own words. Good. All right. And then the platform that you can use is Medium. All right. So Medium is a blog. All right. It's a blog for tech people. All right. It's a tech blog. All right. So I'll add the link. https://medium.com. Okay. Yeah. So you can just log on here and then create an account there. So you can see there are blogs by people. Right. It's all on tech. All right. Tech. Thanks for passing all the AWS certifications efficiently. I wrote an app in 6 hours. That makes so you can also even read, other blog posts by people. Mm. And these are people's opinions, people's own opinion, and then what they think about some of the cloud services or anything about tech. Okay. So, all right. So that will be for our first project. Okay. And then now let's go to the second one. So our second topic is going to be on AWS Service Offerings. So we are going to look at what is AWS, and then we'll look at AWS Service Offerings into brackets core services. So we look at EC2, S3, RDS, Lambda, and then VPC. All right. So I'll be updating the running note as well. All right. There are some links that
Okay.
I'll have to provide, but these are the core services. And then for the project, we are going to look at how to deploy a static website on Amazon S3. All right. When we get to S3, we'll get to know what S3 is. So that is okay. And then on the third topic, we are going to look at security and networking. Right. And for that, we are going to look at, let me just add AWS security. Okay, so we'll look at IAM, look at security groups, security groups. Let me even start from VPC. So yes, VPC, security groups, yes, network access control lists, and then we'll look at route tables, we'll look at subnets. Good. All right. I mean, all of these are going to count together. So NAT gateways, Yes, that will be it. And then we'll look at, let me put all of these. We are going to also look at the AWS Cloud. Okay, let me just add them to this. And we'll look at the cloud adoption framework. And then we'll look at the AWS well-architected framework. Good. Look at AWS Global Infrastructure. Yeah. So that will be it. And then for the projects, we are going to look at setup, secure VPC with custom subnet. All right. So on 4, we'll look at databases and management. Right. So we are going to look at RDS. We look at DynamoDB. We'll look at Cloud Watch. Okay. And we'll look at infrastructure as code. Okay, so now we'll just look at cloud formation. All right, and yes, I'll just show you a foundational in Terraform. So the difference between cloud formation and Terraform is that cloud formation is proprietary to AWS, and then cloud formation is cloud native. So that's universal, right? You can use it for all the cloud service providers, but cloud formation is only for AWS. All right. So that will be the main or the major touch points. So here for projects, we are going to create a cloud formation templates to deploy a multi-tier web application. All right, super. Yes, so these are going to be the major touch points. Sorry, I didn't add the project for this. So project. So create an RDS database. And interact with the database via your local machine. Right. Yes, so after every topic, you are going to have a project or an assignment. Every topic, you are going to have a project or an assignment. As I said, as we move forward, I will be updating the running notes. All right. If there is any resource that I will have to add, I will add them. All right. But I think for starters, I can do so to get you started. Use these resources. Okay. So AWS Educate and AWS Skill Builder. Okay. So let me get you the links for that. So AWS Educate. Let me get you the sign up link rather. That will nice. Good. So let me just see this. I don't like this link. All right. So let me just share this one with you. All right. So when you come, you just click on register now. It will create it to take you to the sign up page. Yeah.
Sign up, okay. I sign up from the okay.
Yeah, sign up from there. So this is AWS Educate. All right, but I will sign in and then show you how it looks like. So come here. All right, these are websites that I also used when I started out. So
Okay. Okay.
every material I'll give you is a material that I've used for. I don't recommend things I haven't used before.
It's all you just all it, you can't
Yeah.
not really say much about it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So when you come to the AWS Educate, all right, just come to the course features, all right, and then look at
Okay.
the badge courses. So just select badge like this, and you're going to have
Okay.
11 courses. Okay, two of them, two of them are machine learning courses. So you can leave those ones for now. All right. And then
Okay.
you look at the other 9 batch courses. So this is 8, and then this is Builder Labs. So these are hands-on labs, projects that you can do, all right, to polish your skills on the AWS services. Okay, so for starters, you can start this one, this Introduction to Cloud 101.
So this is something I can start right away, or have to
Yes.
get after
Well, I
a
mean,
particular place.
you can start right away.
Yeah.
All right. As I said, it makes the learning even easier for you.
Yeah.
But these are basically the same things that we are going to talk about, right?
Talk
So
about it.
introduction to cloud. This one will look at the storage services that AWS offers, the compute services, the networking services, the database services, and then cloud operations. So cloud operations will look at the infrastructure as code bits, all right. Uh, and then security, and then also serverless. So serverless is the lambda that I put in the
Okay.
running notes. So this is basically almost like everything that we are going to talk about. Yeah, but these ones give you like foundational understanding in all of them, right? So it makes the
Sure.
learning easier. So you just filter by batch courses, and as you can see, I've completed all of these
All of
9.
them.
Yeah, 9 courses except these ones. These are machine learning stuff too. So you can leave them and then you read these ones, right? And there's
Okay.
also skill builder. And this one even has a job portal, right? That you can use for a job search. You can also use this is Educate. You can use the same portal to create a career portfolio. So more or less like your CV. Yeah.
So as you do the courses,
Yeah.
then it builds up like that.
Yeah. Exactly. So this is skill builder. When you open skill builder, so I'll just give you the sign in page. All right. So when you log on like this, just click on sign in.
It looks like I think I know I have an account that looks like something like that.
Oh, okay. Then you can use
Oh
it.
yeah,
All
I
right.
know that's what you're talking about. Cloud.
So you use
All
a
right, yeah,
builder ID.
yes.
So if you don't have a builder ID, you can just create one. All right. So you click on this. I have one. So if you have one like this, then that's okay.
Yeah, when I last sent the links, so one of them led me to one of the portals, and they were
Oh,
teaching
okay.
stuff like that about types of cloud and instances, those stuff like that. So
Yeah. Oh, I already have an account too. Let me go back. Unless they want me to sign in again. I actually use this platform a lot. So there are a lot of courses that I've even. Okay, next. All right, sorry. So when you come here, all right, just search for this knowledge badge. Okay. Now, when you search for knowledge badge, look out for this Cloud Essentials knowledge badge. All right, Cloud Essentials storage badge readiness path. Now, when you filter when you I mean search you might have like a lot of results. This might not be second. Mine is second probably because I've enrolled in it. All right. So if you are not
Yeah.
you are not seeing the Cloud Essentials Knowledge Badge like at the second result, or I mean at the top result, what you can do is that you can filter, all right, and then first filter by price. It's free. So filter by price, free. Okay. And then you can filter by language, all right, and then select English. Now it will trim down the results, and you obviously
Okay.
have it in the second. You see, this is just the number. All right, so you can have it at the second. Now, when you come here, open the Cloud Essentials Knowledge Badge. Good. And then as you can see here, I have, you know, gone through the Cloud Essentials. So you can start with the job roles, 30 minutes. All right. And you can also come to the AWS Cloud Practitioner Essentials. This one. These ones are
Okay.
primer. If you say primer, like scratch surface info on some of the things that you even learn here. All right.
Okay.
These are primer courses: billing and cost management, getting started with cloud essentials. All right. And so for let me open this in another tab. Oh, it didn't open in another tab. Good. Okay. So when you open it, as you can see, I have completed this. When you open it, it has an entire course outline that you can use to also complement what we are doing. So most of the times,
Mhm.
what I will advise for the educate, you can start like at a go, right? Because there are short courses on each of the
Oh,
service offerings by AWS. But this one is like an entire module. So as you can see, introduction to cloud, Amazon Web Services. So you start with introduction, talks about cloud computing, and then you go towards computing in the cloud. So talks about EC2, what have you. You go to the AWS Global Infrastructure. All right. So there are 10, I think there are about 10 modules, right? Yeah. All right. Then we talk about the well-architected framework, benefit of the AWS cloud, like that. So as we complete each topic, you can use this as a guide, all right, just to
okay.
complement.
So this will come after we complete a section, then I come here and then use
Yes,
this, right?
you can come and use this. All right.
But for the educate, I can just get on
Yes,
with
for
it right after.
yes,
Okay.
yes. For educate, you can just get on with it. All right.
Okay.
This is just to get help you get. And I'm only recommending AWS resources because we are actually focusing on AWS cloud. All right. So it's just
Okay.
like the
Okay.
the source of authority or the information authority. So it's better you learn you get to know AWS better by learning from AWS. All right. That is
Of
just that.
course.
Good. So, I mean, as we move forward, as I said, this won't be a comprehensive course outline, but as we move forward, if there is anything that I have to add or I remember, I'll get to add it.
You add
If
on
you
to
get,
it. Sure.
yes, if you get to read anything that you also need clarifications on, just raise my attention to it. We'll talk about it. All right, as far
Yeah.
as I'm able to remember. All right, so uh, yes, that will be that for now. If there is any question you can ask.
Oh, so far, no. No. The fact that the meeting is even recorded is another. It really helps.
All right,
So,
sure.
but so far, I think I got everything you said so far.
Okay, that's fine.
If I think
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So God willing, tomorrow just give me a heads up on your available time. Then we
Okay, the
just
time.
yes, then we just start with our first topic.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. All right.
No problem.
Right.
Apart from yes, please. I hope you got the message.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I got it.
The
I
transfer.
got it.
Just wanted
All
to
right.
make sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, I got it. All right.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much. Yeah. So yes,
Thank you
and I
so
mean,
much.
even if the class ends, I mean, everybody that's have gone through my training, we are still in touch, right? Most of them for the group ones, I even create WhatsApp groups for them. So we get to communicate anything, anytime that you have. I mean, you see anything online, you need understanding on. just let me know. Even if it's about me scheduling another Zoom link, maybe after the whole, after we have exhausted everything, I can still do that, right? Uh, your network is
If I see
breaking.
something that I don't get, I can just
Exactly. I
prompt you.
mean, yes, in a,
Oh,
even though you paid for a period, but it's like a forever stuff. Because I mean, the moment you get it, you get the foundational knowledge. It's just like we are all industry people, right?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome,
I
boss.
really appreciate
Okay.
it. All right. So
So,
I don't know if there's anything from your end that I should also know and listen to this. But if not, I think today I'm very good.
all right, sure. All right. Yes, for me, there will be nothing from my end. The only thing I require is
Okay.
that, you just, give it time. You dedicate time to it. And, yeah, I'll also try my best
Um,
to, yeah, put up my best to make sure that you get the worth of your money. All right.
sorry, yeah. So the video, I'm guessing you send me a link to it or something.
Yes, yes, I'll share it with you. I'll either upload it on a Google Drive and then share the link with you, or I'll just put it on YouTube and then share the link with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that is fine with me.
All right, sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then. See you tomorrow then.
That's not-
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.